This is the Lockpicker 1969, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the next episode of Interview with the Lockpicker. Today's guest is J.Gabriel. Say hi.
Hello, everybody.
So, to kick this off, how about you tell us how or when did you get into lockpicking, and how did you really get into it?
Okay, lock picking is really, I think it was like December 2017 is when I made the account that I post all my videos on. I think it was probably about a couple of months before then I started watching videos. Boston Bill, lock picking lawyer, lock noob, a lot of others, and I had created the secondary account to actually separate the content. And at that point, I was just watching these videos and just getting intrigued because I've seen videos, or actually, we'll just say mentions of it in TV shows and movies as I was growing up. And I've heard people saying, yeah, you can actually do that, but I just never really got off into the hobby until late. And like I said, it was probably around about uh, December 2017 is when I started to get more and more interested into the lock sport community.
Okay. So, what was it like in the lockpicking community when you got started in it? Because,
Well,
that was a good 4 or 5 years ago at this point, so...
yes. Yes. Well, it's like I said, it's before I really got my hands wet and everything before I got my first set and everything. As I was watching, I was just curious, seeing how Boston Bill was going through all these challenge locks and stuff like that, and it was just new to me, and it was very intriguing. So that was pretty much what just kept me kind of looking like, man, is it really like this? So eventually, it just led me to getting a lockpick set and going with it.
Okay. So who besides Bosnian Bill would you consider to be your influencers?
Mm. He's first. I think him and lockpicking lawyer were the first one. First it was lockpicking lawyer. It was the one where he was taking 2 wrenches to break a lock. That was the first thing that popped up as far as anything lock sport related that came to mind, and that's what it popped up. Then after that, it was like Bosnian Bill. Then it was let's see, helpful lock picker, lock noob, a bunch of different people that have had was just popping up a little bit at a time. So I'd look and I'd watch some videos here and there and everything else. But it seemed like I kept finding myself going back to Bosnian Bill most of
Yeah,
all.
he's got some good stuff.
Oh yes.
I understand why he left, but it was a real loss when he bowed out.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh yeah. But
so
this is completely understandable.
you were telling me before about Wish. Can you go into that? Explain that a little bit?
Yeah. That's where I got my first lockpick set because it was actually a video that popped on YouTube. After I started watching these videos that were popping up on the algorithm, I think it was like the 10, I guess, borderline nefarious things that you can get off of Wish, and one of them was a lockpick set. So so after I got off the road in like 2019, I think it was probably about April, is when I had March, April, maybe May, is when I had bought my set from Wish. It was like real cheap, ridiculous amount, like $5. It just took about like 2 or 3 months for it to arrive, but $5. Hey,
Slow boat from China.
that's it. That's it. You got it.
So
Yeah. They lasted a little bit, but they broke pretty quickly. But I was quite happy with it, and so I had to get some better picks from there.
So, what would you say was the first real challenging lock that you picked?
Well, had to be the 1100 series. It still gives me problems. I need to learn that lock, and I'm just going to have to break down in progressive pin, start with the back, and work my way to the front, go back and forth till I can pretty much figure out and decipher the feedback of what that lock wants to tell me. I get lucky sometimes, but as far as the six pinner, oh no, it's not happening.
Okay. So, All right. The question that a lot of people are going to want to hear the answers to. What got you into challenge locks?
What got me into challenge locks? Of course, I was kind of like chomping at the bit by watching Boston and Bill pick these. But what really gave me the nudge was actually I just started looking at videos on how to create pins, and one of them, the main one, was let's see, recreating the chess and checker pins by Lock Noob. And I said, it's like, man, as in the comments, like, you make this so easy, I got to try it. He said, yeah, why don't you?
Yeah.
And so that was that nudge. That was it. And after I started making my own pins, I was curious on how to make the rattlesnakes because that seemed like to be the big thing. So I tried to go down the rabbit hole in different ways of learning how to make those. So I
Yeah.
found one that I was actually able to reproduce what I was looking for each and every time. It just takes a little bit more time to do it and a little bit more of the process, but I'm pretty well pleased with it.
So your locks are pretty well known to a lot of us out there. How
Well,
many challenge locks would you say you've made in total at this point?
uh, numbered right now is 43.
Wow.
I'm working on 44. Let's see, I've already got pins for number 50 almost all the way complete. I'm doing that one. That one's I'm naming esoteric. It's I'm wanting it to be not esoteric, but eccentric, because I'm wanting it to be some pretty unique pins. And once you pick it, you open it, and you look at it, you'll see the way how they move and articulate. It's pretty
Mm-hmm.
wild.
Yep. Definitely. So, all right. So, how involved into the community would you say you are with your challenge locks?
Mm, that is a good question. Usually when I build them, I've had people ask before them. I'll ask, so hey, would you like one? And just kind of go from there on that. And usually when I build them, is for that person, and I try to add pretty much all the types of pins that I build as much as possible without being the same challenge lock each and every time to reach everybody. So I try to be
Unique.
uh, yes, exactly with it. And I guess as far as like being real active into the community, I'm kind of, I guess I'm not like up front, the forefront or something like that. I guess I'm kind of like hiding behind the ficus or something.
Okay. Okay. So maybe you could tell the listeners what is it you do for a living?
Oh well, get paid to stay alive in a very dangerous work environment. I work on towers, broadcast, cell tower, either or, whatever you want to call them. Every one of them, no matter how tall it is some type of telecommunications tower.
So the question that I think everybody else is going to want to know then is, have you ever picked any locks while you're up there?
Yes, I have done it. It was actually my first time entering into a contest. It was Evil Arts Conservatives Locks and Leather, or Leather and Locks. To pick a lock just outside, anywhere outside. I was about 150 foot up in the air, kept the shackle in a prusik strap tied off. Uh, Luckily, I didn't drop my phone, which was between my thighs. Very uncomfortable situation picking a Master Lock M1 series at 150 foot.
Oh,
I should have
jeez.
left the video up, but I took it down. I get a little weird like that at times. Sometimes I just take videos down. But yeah, uh, I guess I should have left it. It was actually a nice view too.
That's too bad. It's kind of one of those lost treasures.
Now I can make it re-happen because I'm sure I'll go back to that side again.
Okay, there you go. So, next question is, so what have you noticed as being a major change between today and when you started in lockpicking originally?
Well, most things I think I've really noticed is that I've got to like know more people, became a little bit more involved. I've tried not to be so anonymous and everything. You know, I communicate a little bit more and got to be a little bit more knowledgeable to try to help out people, especially when it comes to challenge lock making. And let's see. And another thing I've noticed that there's always a lot of new talent coming into and actually into the community, which is always great. You know,
Yeah.
new blood mixing with the veterans, and me, I'm middle school, but you know,
So, so who are some of the old bloods that you remember from back then that you wish were still around today?
oh, let's see. I still, I do miss Boston and Bill, but I understand why. You know, he left
Yeah.
and had to, you know, too much.
Family.
He goes
Family.
into yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There's a lot it takes. Let's see. Um, Never really got to know Potty 314 that well, but I did enjoy watching his videos. Some as far as Naswick didn't really know him that well either. And let's see. I'm trying to think of some other voices. There's quite a few out there. I really can't really start to think of all their names and everything, but at least we still have you know, I do miss Barris back. I wish he'd kind of come back a little bit, and John Locke, even though they're kind of, you know, I guess they've been there for a little while. John is, I know, is newer and
So
everything.
it's just
So
kind of like people coming in and out of hobbies. They get what they,
yeah,
enjoyment they liked out of it and found other interests at some point.
exactly. Because a lot of it's caused the pandemic and everything changes, and once you know things
Yeah.
sort of went back to kind of normal, then yeah. Okay.
In your opinion, did lockpicking sort of pick up during the pandemic? Because
Oh
that's
yeah,
when
yeah, yeah.
that's when I got into it.
Yes, yes, it definitely did. It definitely did. Because I think it's like really around 2000 when everything was really going down into lockdown and
Yeah.
the yeah, that's when like everybody was like I heard more and more talk about it and everything getting into it. Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned when we spoke before about speed locks. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, even though I have not really actually submitted any times, watching them just run through locks. I'm talking about if you blink, you just missed it. You know how they had as soon as they put the pick in, it's just like it's
So
open. You're like going like, holy cow, you know. And at that time, I had just had got these Schlage round body, so I started. And you know, it's like, man, I'm like ripping through it like it's nothing. I'm like, holy cow! I'm like, dude, come on, you know, just go ahead, record this, you know, in a way, you know, it shows like, hey, you're not joking around. You're actually picking, and you actually got it kind of open, kind of quick. That was another video I used to have up, but took down. You know, the camera angle sucked. Uh, but all you see is my hairy arms just going through the lock. Boom, pops it open. Hear me breathing like Darth Vader. I do it good to the lock and close it back, and I'm like, that was it. You know, I was like, man, you know, but yeah, as far as that, I have not actually tried to put anything on a time or nothing like that. There, it's not that I'm afraid to or nothing like that. It's just really I just don't know what I really need to do with it. And plus, since I've been kind of out of practice on picking, yeah, yeah.
so do you participate in the belt ranking system?
Actually, no, I do not. I do not.
Okay.
I I was let's see, I had a buddy of mine that was trying to get me to go to it and everything. I was picking the 90 Pro A. I had a gut disaster, lost the seventh key pin, couldn't find it, so shut off the camera. Found the key pin after the fact. Had to build the lock back together again. But when I was yeah, I did that. I think it was the second. Yeah, it was the second time rebuilding it. I had swapped a key pin over and I didn't double check it, and so I
Oh.
pretty much had to pick the lock again to unhook it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
All right.
fun.
All right. So You kind of explained a little bit to me about how you came up with the name you're using in lockpicking. Can you go into that a little bit?
The JGabriel?
Yeah.
Yeah. My first name is Jason, middle name is Gabriel. That's pretty much it. I figured I'd just use that because there's a lot of Jasons out there. When I first started, when people refer to me as Jason with certain, that's what I was telling people to just refer to me as Jason instead of just J. Gabriel. For the fact that there's a lot of Jasons out there. We crawl out of the woodwork. So
Mm-hmm.
that kind of kept me like anonymous at that point. But yeah, J. Gabriel. That's just pretty much my first name initial and my middle name.
Okay. All right. So going back to the whole wish thing, are you still using that set, or have you expanded and gone to other pastures as far as your picks and so forth go? Or are you still using that
Oh,
set today?
I probably got some tensioners, and I might have a couple of picks somewhere that have survived. But yeah, I really don't even use those. I've got sparrows. I've got let's
Okay.
see. I've got I've got Law Lock. I've got some Peterson. I got the Peterson Governor set. I've got some custom picks from Joe Picks. I've got Kicks picks. I got let's see, Killer
Nice.
Maru is my first one. That's the bone pick, which I don't know what videos that thing has been in, but and let's see, yeah, I got to keep up with them all because there's Kicks, Joe Picks, Terry Pick, Terry B. Oh my God, Killer Maru. Of course, I got some of the phallic ones from XP Mods. You know,
Okay.
I've, it was kind of like a novelty type humor thing. And yeah, they actually do work them. I just like why not try them out, see what's up with them.
Yep. Yeah. I'm
And
trying to break into making my own picks as well, but not to sell them or
I
anything.
know,
I think what I might do is try to make some and then give them away in giveaways on my channel as prizes. I think that would be
right?
fun for people. So,
Well, I tell you what, let me know about if you want some southern pecan or some black walnut. I think I still got access to black walnut, but I got access to southern pecan.
well, as with any hobby I get into, I go into it with both feet, jump into the deep end. So I've got more wood in pen blanks than I can possibly probably use in the next 4 years, according to what
Right.
uh,
I can
Smith
imagine.
said.
I can imagine. That's why I've kind of kept a distance between the pick making and everything.
Yeah,
I've been wanting to do it. I will do it, but I'm getting my challenge lot list going on so I can get my lock
yeah.
lab and everything, get back into picking and learning some locks. Then I'll give the pick thing a go.
All right. Okay. Last question. What kind of bourbon do you enjoy?
The good kind.
Is there anything but the good kind?
Well, yeah, there's quite there's some subpar and everything. Me, I like a really tasty type bourbons, not like your fruit or cinnamon stuff,
So not
but
the
just
flavored.
exactly where it's a natural flavor and
Yeah.
not just infused or something like that. Not much on Jack or Jim. Uh, if I had to drink Jack or Jim, I'd rather go with Jameson. That's or
Mm-hmm.
maybe some Aberlours. Go with a good Scotch or an Irish whiskey before I go with Jack or Jim.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Okay.
Um, yeah.
All right. So before we wrap up here, is there anything you'd like to tell our audience?
Mm. Oh man. Yeah. Don't work on cell phone towers.
Definitely don't pick locks on top of cell phone towers, right?
Exactly. Exactly. If you hear yellow rain, run away. Well, you want to run upwind, not with wind.
Okay. All right. I really want to thank you for doing this interview. This has been a blast.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
been a pleasure talking with you and getting to know you. For my subscribers and for those who haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications and all. And thank you for tuning in and listening to this interview. Take care.